Ooh, welcome to another episode of the Darren Green Show. Okay, this is episode 230. Hey, how y'all doing? How y'all look? Well, look, here's the thing. It's been a minute since it's just been us, okay? You know, me and the audience or whatever, right? You know, I had a couple of collaborations, you should say. I had a couple, I had an interview, and then I had, my mutuals come on the episode previously. So it's been a minute since we've had like a, one-to-one, okay, listener to podcaster type of conversation. Okay, so how y'all doing? Let me get where our bombs at, huh? Hey, ooh, that was a little loud, my bad. How y'all doing over there at We Are You Radio? The listeners, I be hearing y'all. I be seeing that y'all be watching me, honey. Thank you. Also to the audio listeners and the YouTube listeners, thank you so much for your continuous support for the show. Yeah, we're doing big things. I don't have my notes ready, child. My goodness. Because we definitely have some announcements to, get into. So, we gotta do some housekeeping. I gotta let you know this because this is happening. This is going into effect on March 4th. We are no longer going to be doing Saturday shows. Yeah, starting March 4th, the Darren Green Show will go live on We Are You Radio around 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., which gives me like a couple hour, slot to, get all the topics into. I promise y'all a longer, episode for the We Are You Radio listeners. So that means that for everybody else, the replay listeners, YouTube, audio, whatever, it will be available every Monday at 2 p.m. So, just wanted to let y'all know that that's going to be the change. And I think this is a good change because, look, I be working. They be trying me over there. They be putting me on Friday. And it's not even at the point of just like putting me on that day that I usually tape. It's like y'all want to give the full day. Y'all want to give me the full day on Friday. So when I get home, I don't have the bandwidth to do any type of content creation. If I work from a full 9 to 5 and, working at a bank, girl, it's real stressful. Even when the shift is like 5 hours, I'm like home, like sleeping and all that afterwards. So I think pushing it to Monday is going to be good. It's going to give me time to either tape on a Saturday or Sunday. And I will have the entire week of topics because, things do pop off on the weekend and I don't really get to it. And it comes off like, oh, it's kind of old because you talked about stuff earlier this week and some stuff done popped off on Saturday. You get what I'm saying? So I think this is a good turnaround for everybody involved. And I hope to see you there on Monday. Okay. So like I said, it's starting March 4th. Yes, we will be premiering live on We Are You Radio around 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And for the replay listeners and everybody else, the show comes out 2 p.m. every Monday. Okay. So with that being said, child, let's move on, honey. Let's go on to my weekend. My week was kind of basic, and I don't mean basic in a bad way, right? I mean basic in like, I didn't work that much and I had time to be home and, really work on my craft, really work on what I got going on. Reading a little bit, was watching, some TV, some shows that I wanted to get into. Nothing too much here. Just, wanted to give you guys a rain check before we get into some things. And I really do hope you enjoy the show. Now, we got some stuff to get into. Let's be very clear. Okay, we got to talk about Monique and that son Shalon. Shalon, child, I'm bad with names. He done dragged Monique and Daddy through the mud a couple times. We'll get into that. We also got to talk about Mike Epps versus Shannon Sharpe, child. I guess they wanted to fight, but I guess they good now. We'll get into that. And then we got to talk about Beyonce and how people are just mad at Beyonce for, she could literally walk down a street and people would be like, oh my goodness, why would she do that knowing that all these, people are dying and doing all that and more coming up on the Darren Green Show. Okay. Now let's get into our first topic. We got to talk about the Monique and son situation. So since the Shannon Sharpe interview, okay, Monique's son, Shalon, took to his platform, I believe on TikTok, to basically air out Monique and her daddy. Okay. And here's the thing. I'm going to play like a short little snippet of what he said because, it was a lot. It was a lot. He was definitely saying a lot of words. It was a lot like because he wrote down what he wanted to say and then he just like read it out loud on a video, which, we could have got to the point, but I get it. We dealing with, mom's lying on me on an interview and I feel like I had to defend myself. So, all right, this is what he had to say though.
Hi, I am Shalon. I am a stand-up comedian, Monique's oldest son. I guess I felt the need to make this video to just provide some context into this false narrative about her praying to the universe in order to reconcile our relationship or whatever the hell it is. I wrote it all down so that way I don't go all over the place and get emotional or anything like that. So I'm going to talk like I'm reading a script, but it's just going to help me kind of stay together. But to address the Club Shay Shay interview that she did where she states that she prays to the universe in regards to reconciling our relationship, as I stated, is odd. My mother and I both know that that is a very false narrative, and I would like to free her of having to continue telling that lie. Ooh. Faith without work is dead, and neither one of us cares to put forth any effort to reconcile with the other. We are separate, as she put it, because she doesn't care to be my mother any more than I care to be her son.
Yeah, and he keeps on going, and he gets into a lot of different things, but mainly the point that he was trying to make was Monique, the relationship that they had was very materialistic, and I think that was on Monique's part. It was more or less, she was living her life as a celebrity that's trying to pursue acting and comedy and everything. He didn't have that nurturing mother that he wanted. Like maybe it was more like, okay, here, I'm giving you this and you need to be grateful for it and this, that, and the third. Like he's asking for compassion. He wanted what a mother is supposed to be, right? So he said that, and basically no less than 24 hours, child, Monique and Daddy, okay, goes live and talks about the situation. Now, like Shalon's video, I'm gonna give y'all a clip of what they were talking about. Okay, this is what they had to say in response.
People that are saying, oh, you should be ashamed of your mothering skills. You should be ashamed of yourself. This is what I'll say. Let's let it play out. Because the same ones that said to me I was crazy, I was deranged, we watched it play out. So just like with my son, we'll watch this play out. And I do want to address this though, Shalon. When you say her daddy, then that's when mommy gonna say stop playing, because this has been Uncle Sid your whole life. Uncle Sid knew you before you knew you. So for you to say her 3 sons, yes, you're absolutely right. He has 3 sons. He can't claim you as his son because he's always been Uncle Sid, and he knows your daddy very well.
And love that brother. And the irony of...
Yeah, I'm going to stop right there because I really don't care to hear Sydney speak on Monique's child when Monique's child should be speaking on Monique's child. Okay, let's be very clear on that. Okay, and they go on to say that we've been supporting him for the longest. We put a down payment on his car. We bought diapers for his child. Materialistic stuff, objects and things that they bought for him. And I guess that's supposed to mean oh, we love you because we're giving you this stuff, right? Completely negates what this brother was talking about in his initial video. We didn't you were not in his words, because like I said, it's his words, it's their words, and then there's the truth, right? I'm not gonna sit there and say that this boy is lying or this man is lying. He older than me, child. I'm not saying that this man is lying, but I'm looking at Sydney and Monique kind of sideways, because he talking about you never gave me compassion and love and genuine, companionship between a child and a parent. You over here talking about, oh, well, we gave you this, we gave you that. No, that's not the conversation. We're having 2 different conversations. Okay. So I think that's what's making a lot of people side-eye Monique and Daddy. Okay. Because you're not making any sense, right? And it continues because they go back and forth. Monique released some text messages also of a very, very, very cordial conversation. Let me tell you something, just to, I guess, to prove that, hey, you know, we're good. I have the receipts. And I'm looking at the receipts, and the receipts are not receipting. Okay, but because this is a very much cordial conversation. This is a conversation I would have with my boss. Okay, this is a conversation that I have with a family member that I don't mess with like that. But we got to talk because we got to be in good communication. I'm not going to bring up no family member. Because I don't know who watching. But I'm just saying, like, this is the family member that you text that very cordial, very cordial. Okay, this is not the text message I had with my mom. Okay, let's be very clear. Let's be very, 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 very clear. Okay, so what you put out, Monique, it means nothing. Okay, it means absolutely nothing, and it ruins your case. So now people are believing the son even more. Now the son, he responded again. I'm not gonna get into it because it's you know. It's the back and forth of debunking each one's, you know, take on something. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're going back and forth. This needs to be behind the scenes. They need to get on FaceTime, or they need to go to some type of family therapy or whatever this, that, and the third. Talk to a third party person that's neutral and is not on anybody's side, and have that conversation. Don't put it on the internet. That's all I got to say about that in that part. I feel like Monique should have said nothing. I think Monique should have said nothing. The moment that boy got on that dang social media, and it went viral, and I get it. So of course she's gonna, you know, try to capitalize off this moment any way, shape, or form she has, just to sit there and be like, hey, I'm on a comedy show. I'm not saying that this was a moment for her to do that, because she's not promoting anything, but I'm just saying, like, girl, I would have said nothing, because the more you talk and the more daddy talk, the more y'all look crazy as hell. Okay, let's be very clear. Somewhere else also where we see Monique and Sydney talk, that kind of really rubbed me the wrong goddamn way, right? The fact that Sydney brought up this man's mental health illness, allegedly, I'm giving the air quotes to my audio listeners, allegedly, okay, bringing up his mental health issues as a way to debunk what he was saying, I think that is the most venomous thing that you can ever do. This is not your child. I would have loved if Monique would have said that. I'm sorry, even though I feel like, you know, bringing up anybody's mental illness when, you know, that's not even a reasonable argument is BS. But I mean, at least please let it come from the mom and not the stepdad. You get what I'm saying? It's giving very much stepdad energy. You know, the stepdad that don't like their wife's child with another person. I don't like that. I really don't like that. And for Monique to allow him to sit there and say that, it's giving very much, I chose my new husband over my old kids. Okay, that is what it is giving. And I think that's a huge problem. That is a huge problem, okay? And I will also say this, I think the entire situation is ironic. I think it's like, think about it. So Monique basically demands the respect, compensation, and her plight to be validated from people like Tyler Perry, Oprah, and all the powers that be that kind of picked on her, right? While at the same time, you ain't giving your own son that same grace. Okay, your son is calling you out, and you saying that is not true. That you know, I did this X, Y, and Z for you, and I gave you this, and you're sounding just like Tyler Perry and Oprah. It's giving Oprah and Tyler energy, you know? So you're looking like a hypocrite. Okay. And the fact that you're lying or stretching the truth or whatever, it just makes people think, what else are you lying about? Okay, what other truth are you withholding? And it definitely confirms the narrative that Sydney is controlling you. Okay, I didn't want to believe it. And I was very much on Monique's side throughout the entire situation with her being blackballed. And I still feel like she was blackballed. And I still feel like that wasn't, you know, the thing that happens. I wish that didn't happen to her. But we got to understand and talk about our part and why we are where we are. The way that man overpowered your life talking about your son, that's a problem. That is a goddamn problem. I didn't like it. A lot of people didn't like it. And he could have sit this one out. Because, okay, you said the boy Shalon, he brought up your name or whatever. Okay, fine. He could have said his little piece or whatever. Don't bring up my name or don't do. You know we cool. This, that, and the third. I'm cool with your dad. All that other bull crap. The rest of the live, Monique should have been talking. That's just my thing. He was talking a little bit too much, talking way more than Monique. You talking like this is your child. That ain't your child. You don't address me. That's a grown man. He's 30-something years old. Okay, you are nothing but my mother's husband at that point. So ain't no ain't nothing. And he wasn't even trying to sit there. I don't know. His Shalon's response video was saying it was something about before he wanted Sydney to be his stepfather or something like that, and then it just didn't work out or whatever. Like I said, it's a lot of family, ties going on here. We don't need to be privy to this, okay? We really don't need to be privy to this, but if you're gonna bring it to the forefront, we're gonna talk about it. Okay, let's be very clear. Like I said, I think this family needs some much needed therapy behind the scenes. Don't do no red table talk. Okay, or whatever the hell y'all try to put. Okay, make this thing public. Do something behind the scenes, have a conversation, and y'all will be fine. But I'm not gonna lie, Monique, you lost some brownie points with this, and I messed with you. I rolled with you through the entire situation. When it came to Oprah and Tyler, I said they ain't crap. Okay, and they deserve. I don't know. I was kind of almost with you. When I stopped getting on the train is when she said she wanted $10 million from Tyler. I'm like, you want $10 million from who? $10 million for what? Girl, if you don't get out of here with that, you better ask $10 million for freaking what's the boy name? Lee Daniels. That's the one that really blackballed you and outed you. Like, girl, I mean. Look, y'all gonna have y'all opinions. Tell me what y'all think in the comments, and we can definitely move on off of that. Okay. All right. Now, I did want to talk about this whole Mike Epps and Shannon Sharpe situation, since we're on the topic of Monique and, this interview that they had really sparked different conversations and different conflicts between celebrities. So, yeah, now Shannon Sharpe and comedian Mike Epps are beefing or whatever. Or they were beefing at the time. They're supposed to be having a conversation at the All-Star Week, We'll get into it. Okay, so basically, Mike Epps' name was brought up during the interview between Shannon and Monique, and it triggered Mike to go on his comedy show to basically talk about Shannon, right? And not only did he talk about Shannon, right? He said that he wanted him on the show, or he DM'd him. Shannon DM'd Mike Epps to be on Club Shay Shay, and he said he wasn't in for that. Like, I don't want him looking at my you know what, and he started to call him Medea and stuff like that, basically insinuating that he's gay. And that's just been like a running joke going around on social media. I mean, there was a story that I think one of his stylists or one of his, workers, which is not me about to say homosexual, which is a gay man, basically saying that, they're rumored to have a relationship. So, I mean, there has been conversations about Shannon. I think that they're very absurd and unverifiable, but here we are. Mike Epps made that joke, and Shannon didn't like it, so he got on this little show that he has with Ocho Cinco and basically offering him to, when I see you in public, is it going to be that same energy and this, that, and the third? Mike Epps responds, and it was stupid. I was like, he talk about something, I haven't fought in a long time, like I don't fight, this, that, and the third, trying to insinuate that he got some type of mouse couture on him, on Shannon or whatever. I was like, this is some dumb what. Okay, now in this video, Mike Epps did say that he was the one that DM'd Shannon. So Shannon didn't DM him, you DM'd Shannon. Okay, and it was because Shannon had brought him up to try to get Monique to talk crap about him, or not Monique. It was his interview with Cat Williams, I think, right? It could have been Cat. Yeah. He's trying to sit there and say that, he brought me up. So, yeah, I responded. What's that and the third? And basically saying that he don't fight. And, people are saying that, something about to go down when they meet each other, child. Let me tell you something. I don't think that Mike Epps is the funniest at all. He's not funny at all or menacing at all. Like, nothing is menacing about Mike Epps. Let's be very clear. When he was on that bed, morning breath and all, we did not nobody better than I. Let's be very clear. Apparently they got over it. They spoke, and they're going to have a man-to-man conversation at the NBA All-Star Weekend. So we'll see how that goes. I'll keep you posted on that. But I did want to talk about some things, you know, to get some things off my chest when it comes to this conversation, because I think that it's so absurd. And it's not even just Mike Epps that really made, you know, headlines talking about this. It was like other people, other male podcasters, you know, basically coming for Shannon because he's had 2 big interviews, you know, in the course of a month, and they've grossed over like millions and millions of views on YouTube. The thing about it is, though, Mike couldn't wait. Mike Epps, he couldn't wait for someone of notoriety to speak his name up. And honestly, the gag is he's upset because Shannon Sharpe can hold more views on a video than he does on a comedy show. Let's be very clear. So this was a perfect opportunity for him to kind of like capitalize and definitely get some eyes on him now that they know, oh, he made a joke on his comedy sketch. Maybe he's going to joke more. Maybe let me see if I can go to a Mike Epps show, because let's be very clear. Mike Epps did not make it as an actor. He's resorting back to his comedic, I guess, shows or whatever. I mean, like I said, I'm not doing any research on him. Nobody's checking for him, but girl, you wanted this moment. Let's be very clear. That's just what it was. And why? I just have a question. Like, why every time a man is doing something that's not, I guess, traditional for men to do, and in this case for Shannon, it's like having a scandalous interview. Why is that considered? Why are people calling him gay for that? You know, I think leave us out of it. Like, we have nothing to do with that. I mean, I think D.L. Hughley even said something too, talking about how he's like getting like Wendy Williams. And I'm just like, I mean, that's a big reach, because Wendy Williams was, I mean, yes, she was a scandalous commentator, but Shannon is not doing it. Like, it's not him that's being scandalous. It's the people that he has on the show. I think that, and I had this conversation with my best friend, it was like, I think a lot of celebrities are not here for Shannon allowing people to say, or not taking certain things out of what people say about other celebrities. Because when you think about it, the podcasting market is basically people that already got, you know, some type of notoriety on them. Celebrities have run the podcasting industry. Okay, if you're like a new podcaster, it's hard for you to get the views that you get, because we have other celebrities that have, you know, that have a bigger following, that has a machine behind them promoting their shows over us. So when you think about like the Club Shay Shay is a popular show, and you know, he's a celebrity, so you would expect celebrities to give each other slack and not really go in. But Shannon is doing something a little different. Like, he's allowing these people to say what they want to say and not really cutting anything out or telling them, hey, you can't say that, or trying to debunk what the person that he has on the show saying. So, you know, yeah, there's probably a lot of his, you know, boys, or I wouldn't say boys, but a lot of people in the celebrity culture, they probably are not feeling him right there. And I think that's why people like Mike Epps and even D.L. Hughley is even coming for him, or even trying to insinuate, you know, that he could be gay. But I'm just like, what? I just don't get the correlation. Okay, his show, and I've watched some of his stuff, is like no different than barbershop talk. Okay, but the barbershop talk is recorded and taped and put online. So I don't get the correlation. I think that people are just ignorant. Like I said, there's nothing scary about Mike Epps. He's not funny. And it was so cliche to even call him Medea. Like, come on, that's such a common joke to make about somebody that is okay, because of the size that he is and whatever the case is. Medea, you would have got some laughs if you called him Miss Netta, honestly, because that's what he looked like. No shade, but Medea, girl, like, even your jokes is old. Like, your jokes is old. Like, you need to stop. Okay, let's be very clear. And Shannon, I hope this doesn't deter him from having these scandalous interviews, because you know, this has definitely become a topic of discussion. I wonder who he gonna have next, but you know, who knows what's gonna happen with this topic. Tell me what y'all think. It's not too much I want to say about it. Now, my next topic I want to get into, okay, we got to talk about Beyonce. Shout out to Beyonce covering Essence, because y'all know y'all like to sit there and say that, oh, she don't support the black owned businesses, or she don't go to black publications. She don't do this to black. Yeah, well, she just covered Essence and she's looking phenomenal as per usual. But I did want to get into, her. I wanted to get into the fact that she's coming out with some new music. Very surprised, if I do say so myself. So ever since Beyonce announced that she will be dropping new music, the internet has been going crazy. There is a lot. Okay, when I say there's a lot, there is a lot to cover. Okay, so I'm a timeline everything. I'm going to tell you my thoughts. Now, Beyonce did a Super Bowl commercial for Verizon. In the commercial, she teased the fact that she was going to release new music, okay? And to the people's surprise, a lot of people were, oh my God, like, this is crazy. I know for me, when she said that, I thought she was joking. Like, because when you look at the commercial, it's like, okay, Verizon has this new system that can't break the internet. And then, like, the whole joke is, oh, Beyonce is going to do all these crazy things to try to break the internet, okay? Because whatever she does, people talk about it, which is parallel to what happened in real life, right? So she said she was going to drop new music, and it had a lot of people talking, and she did just that. Okay, those 2 nights, she dropped 2 singles, 16 Carriages, and also Texas Hold'em, which I'll get into a little bit later. And the people were excited. People were ecstatic. She really, that was a trending topic on Twitter that night. A lot of fans are here for it. Some people are a little bit confused because it's like, why are we doing country? And then we have the same haters that, express their disdain for this now country singer. Anything she does, okay, they're saying that, oh, this is a marketing tactic to try to pander to the white audience. She wants white validation. And then we have this argument that people think that, oh, Beyonce stole Usher's moment. Now, here's what I got to say about that. We can start with the whole pandering conversation, because I felt like that really irked me, watching people have these stupid takes about that, right? It's the fact that Beyonce doesn't need validation from a white audience. She has the Beehive for that. I literally had to say that like a couple of times to people, because I'm just like, what more do she has the Beehive? I went to her concert. When I tell you that stadium was packed, full of beehives. What more does she need? She don't need the country viewers, the country listeners. This is for us. Okay? Y'all be listening to Azalea Banks, and Azalea Banks is going to lead y'all to insanity. Because a lot of people are making those claims after she made her little statement saying that, oh, she's trying to pander to white folks and this, that, and the third. Just like she pandered to gay people with Renaissance and all this other stuff. Like, y'all need to understand, too, that we created this genre. I don't care if anybody get in my comments talking about some, oh, y'all black people, y'all think y'all made everything. Yeah, we're just about. Okay, let's be very clear. Yes, we made country. So if any artist wants to sit there and dabble in that genre, just because they want to, they should have the right to, and they shouldn't be ridiculed for it. But of course, we are talking about Beyonce. Anything Beyonce does, she'll get ridiculed for it. I remember when she came out with Break My Soul with Renaissance, and they said, oh my goodness, she doesn't have a 9-to-5. How dare she make a song like that, trying to pander to the working class and telling us to quit our jobs? They got mad at Beyonce back when it was Lemonade, and she said, she hinted at breaking up with Jay-Z for her to not break up with Jay-Z, and it was like, oh my God, like, I blame you, Beyonce, because I broke up with my man because you told me to. Like, y'all take things so literally. And everything that this girl does is she can literally walk through, just anywhere, and it's like, oh my God, why was she standing there? She's standing for this, or there's people dying, and it's that. Like, everything is on this woman, and I get it. When you're that famous and when you're that popular and a lot of people love you, the people that are that don't really have that same love for you, it's like, they want to be louder than the ones that do. And it's weird. Back to the whole pandering conversation. Nobody has a problem with Justin Bieber making an R&B album. Nobody had a problem with Sam Smith getting a BET award. You get what I'm saying? Like, we have white artists or non-black artists dabble in our dominated genres, but it's a problem when a black artist wants to try to do a get into a genre that doesn't align with their. I'm not even gonna say it doesn't align with their race, but they want to do a genre that's dominated by another race. Because let's be clear, we did make country, but white people are dominating the genre of country, right? So, I mean, I don't know. I think that it's also absurd to say that Beyonce took Usher's moment at the Super Bowl. You know, y'all not looking at the metrics. Y'all not looking at the numbers, because Usher was the number 2 topic on Twitter, their trending list. Beyonce was number 4 that night. Okay, after her commercial drop, Usher stayed in the top 2. People were talking about this. He had a huge spike in Spotify listeners, the most viewed halftime show of all time. We had over 2 million viewers watch his show. And then he also had viral moments. The situation with Alicia Keys, him holding her on, and everybody talking about, oh my God, this is like, this shouldn't be, he shouldn't be doing that or something like that. Then we had Jermaine Dupri wearing a dress and a skirt. He brought out will.i.am. Like, people are still talking about Usher's Super Bowl performance. It was a good performance. He did a good job. Shout out to him. But I don't think Beyonce took anything away from, his moment. I think that a lot of my mutuals also, they kind of fell for this lazy take. I mean, look, there was a lot of people talking about it. I'm just like, what I have to ask, like, whose moment really was it? We also have to understand that, Beyonce is a business. Okay, so that's what businesses do when they want to promote something. They get a slot for a Super Bowl commercial in which, I mean, Verizon paid her. I heard they paid that girl $30 million or some huge amount to do this damn commercial. So damn well, I'm gonna do this damn commercial. No one bats an eye when they had a freaking Scientology commercial. I mean, they literally had a commercial about Jesus. Like, and I'm not look, believe in what you believe in, like what you like, or whatever this and the third. But I'm just saying, like, is no one finding that a little bit concerning? We got a whole cult being promoted on a commercial. But y'all mad because Beyonce took Usher. Girl, get the fuck out of it. Get out of here. Okay, but don't nobody want to hear that. Okay, and shout out to Usher, shout out to Beyonce. These two are both, amazing performers and singers and all that. And if you're not here for what she got going on country-wise, then tune out. Tune out, okay? Because I feel like people's anger is kind of misplaced when it comes to Beyonce. You mad about something else about her, not that she doing a country song. It cannot be that. But I ain't gonna go over it too much, child. We gonna move on, child. Now we can go into the side topics, because there was a couple side topics, child. Now we got Kanye West beefing with the Swifties, honey. Kanye West is beefing with the Swifties. Yes, honey, yes. Okay, so his album dropped. I didn't listen to it. I don't really feel like listening to it. Sorry, not sorry. But he gets a few things off his chest after a Taylor Swift fan page encourages fans to stream Beyonce's Texas Hold'em to block the #1 song from Kanye. I think Kanye, I don't know which song is gunning for number. What they're saying that Beyonce's Texas Hold'em and there's a Kanye West song that's like, in a race for who's going to be #1, #2. You get what I'm saying? And basically the Swifties, because they're doing this because I think Kanye said something about Taylor on the song, on one of his songs or whatever. So they're like, oh, let's block his #1 by, streaming Texas Hold'em by Beyonce or whatever, right? I think this is the post that the person said. It said, Beyonce's new single, Texas Hold'em, is challenging Kanye West for #1 of the debut Hot 100. Let's buy and stream Texas Hold'em to block him out the spot. And Kanye West made a response. He said, when I say I'm the new Jesus B, I wasn't even thinking about Taylor Swift. Child, that was a whole line before, but I appreciate the free promo. Lil Wayne actually mentions Travis Kelce on Vultures too. This album actually It's super positive and fun. It's all about triumphant. Okay. Last year was incredibly challenging for me and my wife, my children, my friends, and family. And he goes on to say that. So, I mean, look, they want to block you. They want to block you. Okay. You brought up Travis Kelce or whatever the hell it is. They think that in turn you're trying to come for Taylor. I mean, there was some weird things that was going on in the Super Bowl too. I heard, you know, that he tried to buy a seat that was directly in front of Taylor's seat. Okay, her little box area that she had, so that every time the camera would have panned to her, you would see Kanye in the picture as well. And she kind of got him like kicked off because he wasn't there at all. Got him kicked off the whole stadium or whatever because she was like, "Yeah, we're not doing that." So yeah, Kanye West, you want to act like everything is so we're good in the neighborhood. This is a positive album. No, we still see your antics. So shout out to the Swifties. Go ahead and stream Texas Hold'em, okay, and block his number one, okay? I don't care. Okay, so some more news about Kanye West has updated his album, his joint album that he did with Ty Dolla $ign, which is Vultures, which we just mentioned was one of the songs on there was going toe-to-toe with Beyonce's Hold on Them. Well, the music has been removed from streaming platforms like Apple Music and iTunes, okay? Now, on this Thursday afternoon, because this is when we're taping the episode, the album was removed from Apple Music and iTunes, and Rolling Stones reported that FUGA, we're going to call it Fuga, which is a music distributor, told the news outlet that they declined to work with Ye last year, but another user apparently uploaded the album anyway. So somebody in Kanye West got a mole in that corporation, and they uploaded the album anyway. Okay, under the company's consent. Now, last year, this music company was presented with the opportunity to release Vultures 1, exercising their judgment in the ordinary course of business. We declined to do so. A spokesperson from Downtown Music, the parent company, said in a statement on Friday, February 9th, 2024, a long-standing client delivered the album Vultures 1 through the platform's automated processes, violating our service agreement. Therefore, this company is actively working with its DSP partners and clients to remove Vultures 1 from the system. Now, I don't know if this type... I'm not sure why. I mean, I'm looking at the thing now. I mean, I got to go on the website. I'm not going on their website. I'm pretty sure, you know, they're parting ways with Kanye West because of his antics, because of his anti-Semitic comments. I mean, the list goes on as to why this group does not want to work with Kanye and drop any music that Kanye's doing. He's going to have to be an independent artist at this point because the labels is not kicking it with him. They just take your song down. So that means congratulations, Beehive Child. Texas Hold'em about to be number one by the end of the week. Okay. So by Tuesday, we'll know that Beyonce's number one. So, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, you do problematic shit. This is what happens. I mean, it just is what it is. But you guys will tell me what you think in the comments. Another topic I wanted to talk about. What else is going on, Chad? What else is going on? Oh, Porsha coming back to the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Are we here for it? Are we not? I mean, here's the thing. I mess with Porsha. I hope she'll bring it. Okay. I don't know if her and Kenya are gonna get into it. If they do, it's just not gonna be like it used to be. Because Porsha is at a different space in her life. I mean, I would love to see what's going on with her, with, Porsha Gobadia now, with, her African prince or whatever and all that. And I would like to see how she's going to interact with these girls. I don't believe that they started taping. So, I'm definitely, from my last video where I talked about Housewives, they need to get Mariah. Mariah needs to be on there. Mariah, please come back. Don't come back to Married to Medicine. We don't want you, girl. Forget that place. Okay. You built it up. Now you can watch it fall. We want you to come to Real Housewives of Atlanta because you would really shake things up. I really want Mariah. I know it's a rumor, but that would really be real good for the show. Bravo, make the right decision. if you're gonna bring back Porsha, okay, what else are we gonna do? We know that Candy not coming back, thank God. We know that Drew and Sonya, sorry for Drew, but thank you for Sonya. I'm glad she's gone. What else are we gonna do here? Because, you know, we need to get this thing shit going. Okay, honestly. So I'm happy for them, and I hope that, you know, I'm happy for her. She back on here. She gonna get that check. And yeah. Is there anything else I wanted to get into? I mean, I feel like there's like little stuff, but all right, I think that's it for this episode. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Like I said, starting March 4th, we are going to be doing Monday shows, okay? For the replay listeners, that will be after 2 p.m. For my We Are You radio listeners, like I said, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And I promise you it will be a good show. Okay, thank y'all so much for listening, and I will see y'all next time. Okay.